This is Adi Sharma Solution, Class 12, Chapter 6, Determinants, Exercises 6.4. Solve the following system of linear equations by Cramer's rule. So, all this exercise is based on Cramer's rule, most of the questions. So, normally the equation, these linear equation, they can be in 2 variable, 3 variable, 4 variable, or maybe more than that. So the normal method is to find out the value of x in terms of y, put it in the second equation and try to find out the value of x, then keep that value in the previous x relation. Or you can do multiplication method, that is multiply so that common thing come and you can cancel it. But when we are learning matrices and determinant, the way of solving it can be easily done using the Cramer's rule. Now the first question I am going to tell you more in detail so that others you can do. So you have x minus 2y equals 4. I'm telling you the first one. The second equation is minus 3x plus 5y equals 7. Now normal linear equation, let us equate with this. a1x plus b1y equals c1. Here a2x plus b2y equals c2. Now just compare. a1 is 1, a2 is minus 3, b1 is minus 2, b2 is 5. So the determinant will be a1, a1, a2, b1, b2. When we try to find out d1, d2, will replace the first column, second column likewise. So first thing is the determinant, basic determinant, 1. So a1, a2, 1 minus 3. Then b1, b2 minus 2 and 5. So a1, a2, b1, b2 we have written already. So in order to get this value is 5 minus 3 to the 6. So this is going to be negative 1. So please compare this minus 1 with 0. It should not be 0. Otherwise there are certain conditions that will come. We are going to discuss in the later questions. It should not be 0 as of now. D1 can be computed by, the first column has to be replaced by what is on the right hand side, C1, C2. First column. So we are talking about D1, that is we are talking about X. X is going to come through D1. So first a1, a2 has to be replaced by c1, c2. c1, c2 is what? 4 and negative 7. So c1 is 4, c2 is negative 7. So just write 4 and negative 7 here. And then rest things remain same, 2 and minus 5. So 5 4 is a 20, minus 7 is a 14, it is going to be 6. Now coming to d2. d2 is what? See, we have the first one will remain same because we are interested in y. So this second column has to be replaced by c1, c2, that is 4 and negative 7. So 1 minus 3 will remain like that, and we have to put 4 and minus 7 here. So it will be negative 7 minus or minus plus 4th is a 12. So 12 minus 7 is going to be 5. Okay, now we have d1, d2 and d. So in order to get x, what we'll do? X will be d1 by d, y will be equal to d2 by d. So d is not equal to 0, that is x and y are defined. So just put d here, negative 1 in the denominator. d1 will be 6, d2 is going to be 5. So negative 6 is the value of x, negative 5 is the value of y. This is how we solve the linear equation with 2 variables using the Cramer's rule. So there are other questions exactly like this. So I'm just giving you the solution so that you can have a look, you can try it yourself so that you can match the answers if you want, or just you can do the way I told you in the first question. Exactly same, there is no difference. There is no difference, right? So one by one, you can just, this is a checklist. First you try yourself. If you have any problem, then just you can see the answer. So these are all of the same type. One of the type is somewhat different. Exactly, it's actually same. But here, what do we see here? We have a here. Means the coefficient of y is a. So this is a1, a2, this is b1, b2. So d will be a1, a2, b1, b2 in the a1, a2, b1, b2. So I'm doing the sixth one. So d is equal to 3, 2, aa. What will be d1? The first column has to be replaced by 4, 2. So 4, 2, aa will remain like that. d2. The second column has to be replaced by this Second has to be replaced by 3, 2. So this is A. 4A minus 2A is 2A. So we just have to change it because this we have to replace 4, 2 here. Okay. So we get 6 minus 8, that is negative 2. So x will be equal to the d1 by d. So 2a by a is 2. Y will be d2 by d. d2 is negative 2. How do you get negative 2? Negative 2 by a, because 6 minus 8 is negative 2. You get these values, minus 2 by y. So I hope you'll be able to do all of these. There are 10 of them. So the same way I told you the first one, you have to do exactly like this. So all I am giving you a glimpse so that when you are actually doing it, you can have a reference from here. This is the last one. Now, using the Kramer rule, how to solve a linear equation with 3 variables. So we have a question of 3 variables here. The 2 variable, 3 variable, 4 variable, all will be like that, right? I presume that you know how to do the determinant of 3 by 3. So we have 3x plus y plus z equals 2. This is our first equation. The second equation is 2x minus 4y plus 3z equals negative 1. Then 4x plus y minus 3z, y minus 3z equals negative 11. Now, we will compare it or we will equate it with the actual general equation with 3 variables. So a1x plus b1y plus c1z equals d1, a2x plus b2y plus c2z equals d2, and a3x plus b3y plus c3z plus c3z equals d3. Now, a1, a2, a3 we know 3, 2, 4. b1, b2, b3 we have 1, negative 4, 1. c1, c2, c3 1, 3, negative 3. So for D we have to write a1, a1, b1, c1 in 3 columns. So 3, 2, 4 will come in the first column. 1, negative 4 and 1 will come in the second column. 1, negative 4 and 1. c1, c2, c3. This 1, 3 and negative 3 is going to come in the third column. What will be D1? The first column has to be replaced by D1, D2, D3. In D2, second column has to be replaced by D1, D2, D3. Likewise in D3, third column has to be replaced by D1, D2, D3. So the first column 3, 2, 4 will replace by 2, negative 1 and negative 11. So 3 to 4, in place of 3 to 4 you have to write 2, minus 1, 11. D2 you are going to place the second one as 2, negative 1, 11, negative 11. In third one you will write 2, negative 1, negative 11. Rest you will just keep it like that. So 1 minus 4, 1, 1, 3, minus 3 here. Here it will be 3 to 4, 3 to 4 and 1, 3, negative 3. So only the D has to be replaced by, consecutive columns have to be replaced by one at a time. So 3, 2, 4 and 1 minus 4, 1. Okay. So this value, I hope you know how to do the determinant. Determinant, I am writing the final value here. If you have time, just do it by yourself, but still this is just an explanation or logic how to do this. This is 63, which is not equal to 0, so we can take it as a denominator. D1 come as negative 63, D2 will come as 126 and D3 is going to come as 189. Now in order to find out X, we have to do D1 by D. In order to find out Y, D2 by D. For Z, D3 by D. D should not be equal to 0, okay? So what is the value of D? It is always 63 in the denominator. So D1 is negative 63. It is negative 1. 63 divided by the 63 is negative 1. Now we have 126 divided by capital D. So 126 divided by 63 is 2. Then we have 189. 189 divided by 63 is going to be 3. So X is negative 1, Y is 2, Z equal to 3. This is how we solve the linear equation with 3 variables by Kramer's rule. Okay. So these are all the questions which will take the same logic which I just told you. 3 by 3 determinant will come and you have to solve it because we have already discussed this in the earlier exercise totally. The determinant we have done, plenty of questions, around 50, 60 questions we have done. So same thing, you have to do it here only. Okay. So all of this, you can have just a reference. I will encourage you to do it by yourself. If you have any problem, then you can have a look here, right? Okay, all of them are almost same, almost similar. Now let us take this one. So this is just, we don't have numbers here. We have some, variable. So all these are either 3 variables or 4 variables. Okay. So let me just tell you here only. X, Y, Z plus 1, we have X, Y, Z. So what you have to do is, first you have to take 1d square on the right hand side. So when you take on the right hand side, you will get the a1x plus b1y plus c1 equals d1 kind of situation. Now see here. So this is equation. We have taken minus 1 minus d whole square on the right hand side. So 1a square, 1b square and 1c square. So this is your first d, capital D. So column 2 minus column 1, column 3 minus column 2 or column 1 you can do, but you will get C minus A. That is why column 2 minus column 3 you have to do. So once you do this, you get this kind of situation. But here you see this A minus B whole square can be written as A minus B, A plus B. B minus C whole square can be written as B minus C, B plus C. And now from the second column and third column, you can take A minus B and B minus C common. Once you take this common, and when you solve the remaining determinant, you will get C minus A. We have already done this type of question, so I am just going through it. Now when you try to find out D1, the 1a square will be replaced by negative 1, negative t and negative d square. D2, the second column has to be replaced by minus 1, minus d square. For D3, you have to replace third column by minus 1, minus d square, what was actually in D. Right? So when you just solve it, only you have to replace, first you have to replace, because it is, you have to replace A by D. And all of these you have to take negative outside. So first D1 you have to replace A by D. In order to find out D2, you just have to replace this, because it was A minus B, B minus C and C minus A. So you have to replace C by D here, and then this is D3. So D2 you have to replace likewise. Okay. So you can just solve it like this, because there will be some cancellation here, or you can keep it like that also. But the cancellation is always promoted. So you can do like that. Now this is we have 4 variables here. Same way we are going to do, the logic and reasoning will be same. Only the determinant size will increase. So we are comparing the first one with A1x, B1y, C1z, D1w equals, say, E. Say E1 it is. We are comparing it with this one. Second one, A2x, B2y, C2z, D2w equals E2. So E2. Third one we are comparing with A3x plus B3y plus C3z plus D3w equals E3. Then A4x, B4y plus C4z plus D4w equals E4. Okay. Now when we solve this, the D will come as A1, A2, A3, A4 in the first column, B1, B2, B3, B4 in the second column, C1, C2, C3, C4 in the third column, D1, D2, D3, D4 in the fourth column. So let me just write the value here. So we have 1, 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 1, 2, 3. Then in the second column, we have to write the exponent of y, 1, negative 2, 1, minus 1. In the third one, you have to write the exponent of z, 1, 2, minus 2, 3. And the last one, you have to write the exponent of coefficient of W. So 1 to 2 minus 3. So this is 4 by 4. Okay. So this is how we'll do it. Okay. D1, D2, D3, D4. So D1, D2, D3, D1, D2, D3, D4, we have to replace the first column by E1. So 1, 1, 2, 3 has to be replaced by 2, minus 6, minus 5, minus 3. I'm going to write all of this. First, rest all, let us say it is X, let rest remain same. D2, the second column is going to be replaced by 2, minus 6, minus 5, minus 3. The third one, so if there are 4 columns, the third will be replaced by 2, minus 6, minus 5, minus 3. For D4, you are going to replace it, the fourth column, by 2, minus 6, minus 5, minus 3. Rest will remain as it is what was in D. So it will take some time, but the X will be D1, this X is D1 by D, Y is D2 by D, Z is D3 by D, and W is D4 by D. Okay. Show that each of the following systems of linear equations is inconsistent. Inconsistent means what? Normally we find the X, Y value using linear equation in 3 variable or 2 variable. But at that time, D1, D2 has certain value because X comes as D1 by D, Y comes as D2 by D. If there are 3 variable, that is linear equation with 3 variable, we have Z equals D3 by D. Now, the capital D is the denominator, is in the denominator. What happens if the value in the denominator is 0? If I tell you that you divide something by 0, you'll say, how can I divide anything by 0? That means it is inconsistent. That means it is not defined, it is undefined. Okay. So whenever you have a 0 in the denominator, but D1, D2, D3, they are not equal to 0. So D has to be 0, but D1, D2, D3 are not 0, then we say that the linear equation is inconsistent. So one of this I'm going to tell you. Let us take 24 or 25, because by that you will understand 22 and 23 also. That is, you will be able to understand how actually the inconsistency happen. In 3 by 3, so you will be able to understand 2 by 2 also. So I'm taking 3x minus y plus 2z equals 3. So a1, b1, c1, I'm taking this 24th question. So it is 3 actually on the first equation. So 2x plus y plus 3z, 2x plus y plus 3z equals 5. So you just have to change that first equation. I have written 6, it has to be 3. So there is a slight correction. Let me come to the third equation. It is x minus 2y and minus z equals 1. So a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2, a3, b3, c3, and even d2, d3 you understood. So whenever we try to find out d, how do we do it? See, a1, a2, a3, b1, b2, b3, and c1, c2, c3. So what do you get here? So when we have to find out d1, we replace a1, a2, a3 by 3, 5, 1. b1, b2, b3 for d2 will be replaced by 3, 5, 1, and c1, c2, c3 will be replaced by 3, 5, 1 for d3. But if d is equal to 0, but d1 and d2 and d3, they are not equal to 0, then only we say that the system of linear equation, it is inconsistent, right? d1, d2, d3 should not be equal to 0, only d has to be equal to 0. So let us give you the idea what you have to do here. So this is 3 to 1, a1, a2, a3, minus 1, 1, minus 2, that is b1, b2, b3, and c1, c2, c3 is 2, 3, minus 1. Okay. Now this has to be replaced. This has to replace determinant. I hope you will be able to do it. It will be 0. D1 will be what? 3 to 1 has to be replaced by 3, 5, 1. There is a slight change, right? And in D2, the second column has to be replaced by 3, 5, 1. In D3, we have to replace the third column by 6, 5, 1. Right? So this first and second will remain same. Only the third one will be 3, 5, 1. Or any other number which is on the right hand side. So the D1 will come as minus 15. D2 will, in this example, will come as minus 15. D3 will also come as minus 15. So whichever you use, X and Y and Z will not come. They are inconsistent, undefined. Why? Because, see, the system linear equation, if I tell you that minus 15 divided by 0, you'll say, how do I divide it? It's not possible, right? It is inconsistent. So I hope you will be able to do this, because the determinant you know how to compute it. So this is a very, it has not been asked that it is inconsistent, consistent, or which kind of thing. So you just have to compute D first. So it will be 3 2 3 -1 -1 6 and 2 1 5 like this, D. So when we compute this, it is going to come as 4. And when we compute D1, the first 3 to 3 is replaced by 6 to 20, it will be -12. D2 will replace -1 -1 6 by 6 to 20, it will come as -4, and D3 will come as, when we replace 2 1 5 by 6 to 20, so 28. So when you divide these two, x will be -3, y will be -1, and z will be 4. The z will be equal to 7. So this is x, y, z. Show that each of the following system of linear equations has infinite number of solutions and solve. What does it mean when we have infinite number of solutions? That means when I ask you that in a line, how many points are there? You will say infinite points. And when the system of linear equation, they all represent the same line. That is, when we solve it, actually, solution of a linear equation is basically where two lines intersect, where three lines intersect. That is the solution. But infinite number of solution means these all are same. Okay? Or they are parallel, they are not going to intersect anyways. Right? So this corresponds to the infinite number of solution. So how do we do this? How do we find out? The first thing is, see, the first thing, you have to compute the D. Let us do one of it. So let us do any 26, 27, 28. So let us take this D. So I'm taking 26. Let us do 26. 1, 2, -1, and -1, 1, -2, and 1, -1, 2. So we are doing 26. This is the D. A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. So let us compute it. See. And so you can add two rows, first row and second row. You can add them. Row 1 change to row 1 plus row 2. So what do you get? 1 plus 2 is going to be 3. -1, 1, 0, 1, -1, 0, 2, 1, -1, -1, -2, 2. So now you can add column 1 and column 2, so that you get 1 -1 as 0 and 2 -2 as 0. So you change column 2 to column 2 plus column 3. So 3 to -1, 0, 0, 0, 1 -1 is 0, 2 -2 is 0. So you get 0, -1 and 2 here. Okay, let us open this. We are opening it using first row. So 3 into 2 -1, 0, 0, minus zeros into something plus 0 into something. But it is coming as 2 into 0, -1 into 0, 0 minus 0 into 3 is 0. So determinant is 0 basically. Now the determinant is 0. What is D1? So D1, D2, D3 will also come as 0. We just have to replace 1, 2, -1 by 3 to 1. In the first case, D1. Same thing, other things will remain same. Okay, I hope you are able to do now. D2, D3, other also you can compute. So R1, we are changing it to R1 plus R2. So 3 plus 2, 5. 1 -1 is 0, 1 -1 is 0. You get 2, 1 and -1. So I'll just do it column 1 plus column 2 also here in this step. So you get 0, here gives 0, here 0. And since one of the column is 0, that means 0. If you want to open it, you can open it. Otherwise, one of the column is 0. That's simple. In the first one also D, one of the column, that is the second column, was 0. So I'm just doing it, but it's a property. One column or one row, if it is 0, the determinant is 0. But D is 0, D1 is 0, D2 is 0, D3 is also 0. When all of them are 0, it means infinite number of solutions. This is how we do it. Same here. I hope you'll be able to solve the 27th and 28th question also. All of them 0, infinite number of solutions. This also you'll be able to do. Okay, same thing. Just see that all the determinant D, D1, D2, D3, D4, they are coming as 0. If it is 0, then we can say that it is infinite solution. So you just try to do it. I'm just giving you the reference of the answers, but you need to try it by yourself. A salesman has the following records of sales during the 3 months for 3 items ABC which have different rates of commission. Now, month is given January, February, March. And sale of unit, see A, B and C. So you can represent A by X, B by Y and Z by the quantity of A, X, B, Y, C, Z. So 90 into x plus 100 into y plus 20 into z is going to be equal to total commission is what? 800. 800. So first equation is 90x plus 100y plus 20z equals 800. You can keep it like that, but the better way is to divide whole equation by 10 just to make it easier. That is 9x plus 10y plus 2z equals 80. This you can use either of the equation you can use. I'm just simplifying it. The basic thing is to make the equations. This is your first equation. Second equation will be 130x plus 50y plus 40z plus 40z is equal to 900, right? Now again divide both sides by 10. Either you can do divide by 10 or you can use it directly also. This is going to be your second equation. Now third equation similarly is 60x plus 100y plus 30z, 30 into z equals 850. Okay, you can also divide or you can use this equation directly. So 6x plus 10y plus 3z equals 85. This is the division by 10. So we have three equations here. Now, so let me just write the determinant. Actually, basic idea is to make the equation. Other things you know the Kramer rule now. So it will be determinant will be 9, 13 and 6, 10, 5, 10, 5, 10 and 2, 4, 3. So you just have to solve this. It is going to come as negative 175. If you are not comfortable, if you want to keep it as 90x plus 100y plus 20z equals 800, then you can keep all these values because the equations I've already showed you. So you will compute it as minus 175,000. 175,000. But this will come as minus 175. It will not be 000. Remember, if you take the first equations like 90x 100y, that will come as 175,000, right? Okay, so this will come as minus 175. D1 also you can compute, D2 also you can compute, and D3 also you can compute. And once you compute the D1, D2, D3, x will be D1 by D, y will be D2 by D, z will be D3 by D. Okay, so this first will be replaced by in D1. First will be replaced by the 80, 90 and 85. In my version, I'm just telling you 80, 90 and 85. In D2, it is not D3, it is D2. This will be replaced by 80, 90 and 85 in D3. 80, 90, 85. This has to be replaced. So D1, D2, D3 is computed, D is also computed, x will be equal to D1 by D, y will be D2 by D and z will be D3 by D. Okay. So x will be 2, y will be 4 and see this D1 is going to come as minus 350 with my what I told you. So easier ways to do that. Y will be 4 and z equal to 11. I hope you'll be able to do it. And basic is the rate of commission always we represented using percentage. So it will be 2%, 4%, 11%. That is what you have to write, right? Okay. So this basic idea is to make the equations that I have made, and rest you know already. An automobile company uses three types of steel S1, S2 and S3 for producing three types of cars C1, C2, C3. Steel requirements in tons for each type of cars are given below. X, Y, Z. X, Y, Z we are taking because S1, S2, S3 are the steel, and car and number of car because it is number of cars they have asked, and it has to come for first steel is 29, second steel is 13 and third steel is 16. So 2x, 3y, 4z equals, let me make equation here only. 2x plus 3y plus 4z equals 29. This is first equation. Second equation is 1x plus y plus 2z equals 13. 3x. I'm making equation here itself. So 1x plus y plus 2z equals 13. 3x plus 2y plus z equals 16. So d will come as, I'll just write the d. It will be 213, 312 and 42 minus 1. 421. When you solve it, it is going to come as 5. Similarly, D1, first column you just replace by 29, 13, 16. And D2, D3 likewise, second and third column you have to change. D2, D1 come as 10, D2 will come as 15, D3 will come as 20. So we will replace the third column by 29, 13 and 16. X will come as 2, Y will come as 3 and Z will come as 4. So now the number of car produced by type C1, C2, C3 are 2, 3 and 4. Basically, main is to create an equation. Other things you are able to solve it. Okay, this is all about this exercise. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.